Everyone wants to learn Databricks because of its growing demand, but no one is actually talking about the backbone of Databricks. And I'm talking about Unity Catalog. And let me be very honest with you, you can only understand and work with Databricks if you understand Unity Catalog. And you don't need to worry, because this 3 hours long Unity Catalog Masterclass will talk about all the ins and outs of the Unity Catalog, including Unity Metastore, Access Connector for Azure Data Lake, Unity Catalog Managed Tables and External Tables, Unity Catalog Credentials, External Locations and Containers, 5 Pillars of Data Governance, Unity Catalog Volume, Unity Catalog Functions, Data Security and Data Masking with Unity Catalog, and much more. The best part, there is no experience required with Unity Catalog. Everything will be explained from scratch and it is totally a beginner friendly video. Are you ready to master Databricks backbone, which is Unity Catalog, which will help you land your dream role this year? And if your answer is yes, then let's get started with this amazing masterclass. So what's up my Data fam? Happy Sunday. And this Sunday I'm gonna talk about very important topic. You already know the topic. Databricks Unity Catalog. Do you know what? Literally speaking, I was just doing a little research. Okay, I was just seeing like there's a very strong trend for Databricks, not just about data engineers, data analytics, big data analytics, data science, machine learning. All these domains are also tapping into this particular technology called Databricks. Why? Because Databricks is actually a revolutionary technology and has everything for all the data engineering, data analytics, all the data professionals, right? Because this is an end-to-end solution. So I was like, okay, everyone is trying to master Databricks because Databricks is in demand. All the job portals are like literally specifying, hey, you need Databricks experience and all. But then I also did a small research on what is that factor that can make my data fam, or basically my data family members, an outlier. And I was like, that thing is Unity Catalog. That thing is also mentioned in the job description, but not everyone is focusing on that thing. Everyone is saying Databricks, let's do some PySpark coding and that's it. Not really, bro. Not really. Unity Catalog is the backbone of the modern Databricks architecture that actually industry is looking for. Companies are looking for, hiring managers are looking for, because without Unity Catalog, you cannot build a Databricks solution in the modern era. So I was like, actually this is true. And there is like, I didn't find anything in detail when like someone is talking about Unity Catalog. I was like, let's talk about this. Let's share this knowledge with my data fam so that they can learn, they can master and everything. They can just like, in short, they can just make sure like they are ready for the Databricks. Then I thought like, okay, what will be the targeted audience? Like what will be the prerequisite? Then I was like, hey, just remove all the prerequisites. Just make sure that anyone who wants to learn Databricks, who doesn't even have any knowledge of Databricks, can understand Unity Catalog. So this video is for everyone, data engineers who are very new to Databricks, let's say data analysts who are very new to data engineering, data science, machine learning. So bro, if you are one of these people, just feel free, and this video is for you and you want to master Unity Catalog. This can be a very new word for you. What is Unity Catalog? Why it is a big deal? So I can literally summarize everything in just one line. If you understand Unity Catalog, you can work with Databricks, and that's it. This is one simple statement that summarizes the whole situation right now in the industry. I do not need to just show you, hey, see, these are the articles. Hey, see, this is a project. Hey, see, this is the way we work in the industry. No, that one line is enough. Okay, so if you are satisfied with this particular, you can say, need, and I don't know like why you are not satisfied if you are not, because Databricks is in demand, Databricks is growing rapidly, job portals are like stressing on Databricks, and you need to learn Databricks, and for that you need to understand Unity Catalog. Simple statement, simple logic, common sense. Okay, common sense. So in short, your Databricks journey starts with Unity Catalog. Make sense? Okay, so let's start your Databricks journey. Even if you have some experience with Databricks, this can just blow up your mind because you need to understand so many of things. And last thing, once you understand Unity Catalog, I can guarantee, at least in today's era, you will be a kind of outlier because you would know how to do the things. Because in this particular video, we're gonna look at all the things, including the senior data engineer or administrator things as well that they do, how to configure external location, how to create a Metastore. We are not going to use any existing Metastores, external catalogs, nothing. We're gonna do everything from scratch, and I will literally hold your hand and just to show you how you can just do everything, literally everything. Make sense? Okay, so let's get started with our amazing Unity Catalog Masterclass. And what you will learn in this masterclass, a lot of things, but I was able to just write down only these things, but you're gonna learn so much of that. What is Databricks, Unity Catalog, Metastore, Schema, Manage Tables, Azure? Yes, Azure as well, because we're gonna use hosted version of Databricks, which will give you the 100% flexibility, and don't worry, everything is free. Then data lake, access connector, credentials, external location, delta lake, data governance, volumes, functions, data masking. So this is a kind of tutorial for you so that you can just kickstart your Databricks journey in the modern era. Make sense? And you're gonna love this section, and everything is from scratch. No experience is required, nothing. Okay, so yes, let's start the video. And before that, let me just congratulate all of these people who have recently cracked the offers. So many congratulations, many congratulations. There are so many people, and love you a lot, because these are the people who actually follow the advice and just follow the guidance. And this is me. You can just follow me on these handles if you want to. And let's get started with our amazing Unity Catalog master. So let's quickly start by covering like what is Databricks. I know that you would already know what is Databricks, but still let's say, like, let's assume like you do not even know like what is Databricks, or you do not have a clear understanding of Databricks. Okay, because whenever like a new technology comes into the market, everyone like loves to hear the name and actually do not understand like what is that. So let's quickly understand what is Databricks, because once you know what is Databricks, then you will be able to understand the Unity catalog in detail. Okay, so Databricks is, if I just talk about like what is Databricks in a nutshell. So basically Databricks is like end-to-end platform for your data solutions. It can be data analytics, it can be data engineering, it can be data warehousing, it can be machine learning, it can be orchestration, it can be data storage. I'm just talking about managed storage. Okay, so it can be literally anything. Okay, like why it is end to end and how does it like manage everything. So basically earlier Databricks was just like a kind of managed layer on top of Apache Spark, which was managing your Spark clusters so that you can efficiently run or write your PySpark code, and you do not need to manage your underlying architecture, underlying VMs to spin up your Spark cluster. If you do not know about Apache Spark, you should know about Apache Spark as well. Okay, and Databricks actually solved this problem. Like you do not need to manage your cluster, you do not need to manage your VMs, you do not need to manage your cluster manager, nothing. Databricks was taking care of all of those things. And with the course of time, with the more and more advancements, with more and more iterations in the platform, right now Databricks is actually leading the AI data curve in the market. And you can just check on Google and you can just actually see like what is like actually the position of Databricks right now in this particular space. So that is why you are seeing like every single person is talking about Databricks in corporate, in interviews, everywhere. And do you know what? The best thing about Databricks, if you're a data analyst, if you're applying for, let's say, data analytics position, if you're applying for data engineering positions, if you're applying for AI engineering positions, anything about data, you will see this platform everywhere. Why? Because industries are using Databricks, and Databricks offers everything that you need in the data space. That is why it is very, very important. And again, why I'm creating this video, Databricks is not just like drag and drop tool that you can just simply start writing your code. If you want to understand this code, understand this architecture, understand this everything, in short, if you want to understand Databricks better, you need to understand Unity Catalog first of all, because Unity Catalog is the backbone of modern Databricks architecture. Few years back, Unity Catalog was not there. The architecture was completely different. But now with Unity Catalog, you get so many amazing features, so many cool upgrades, plus you cannot even build a modern solution without Unity Catalog. Okay, makes sense? So if I just go a little bit more deeper about Databricks, so let's say you just want to analyze your data, okay, and you want to work with big data. That means you will be just working with Apache Spark. You will be working with open table formats such as Delta Lake. So all of these things require a lot of manual work to, first of all, maintain the environment, because you'll be just managing the cluster. Second, you'll be managing your open source Delta Lake and so many other things. Databricks says, hey, you do not need to do anything. We will take care of everything. You just need to write your code. That's it. And slowly, Databricks is just like solving that coding problem as well. You do not need to write a lot of code because it is bringing a lot of cool features. Okay. But that will be like in future. But now Databricks is saying that you do not need to manage the architecture. You do not need to manage the cluster. You do not need to manage the underlying virtual machines. No, nothing. Makes sense. So this is your Databricks. And do not worry. I have a dedicated course on Databricks as well, and I will just give you the resource as well. Okay, so just be with me. Currently, we are discussing about the Unity catalog. But if you just want to understand Databricks, I will just provide you the resource. Don't need to worry. Okay, but again, you have to master Unity catalog first of all. Okay. Now you have some idea about Databricks, that this is a technology that data engineers are using, but slowly data analysts, ML engineers, data scientists, data warehousing developers, everyone is using Databricks. Make sense? Okay. Now we need to talk about what is Unity catalog and where does it fit in the Databricks architecture? Where does it reside? Basically, just forget about Unity catalog for a second. Okay. Have you ever used SQL? Yes, we have used SQL. Okay. Have you ever created database? Yes. Have you ever created table within that? Yes. So if I want to query the table, I can govern that table. Yes, because we know the database name, we know the server name, and we know the table name. Okay. But in Databricks, what is a database? What is that schema? What is the table? What is that layer? That layer is your Unity catalog. In SQL, it is pretty much straightforward because data is residing in the RDBMS, like traditional database. Databricks doesn't hold your data. No, Databricks is not a storage solution. It is just a processing solution. It processes your data. So where does the data reside? It will reside in the data lake. And first of all, you do not need to understand everything that I'm saying right now. Why? Because obviously this is a very high level overview that I'm giving. Okay. I'm going to deep dive. I'm going to show you everything step by step using the practical lab as well. So you do not need to worry at all. You first need to grasp the concept and the vibe what I'm trying to say. Okay. And if you are able to do that, that means you're good. Very good. So Unity catalog provides that particular governing solution. Okay. Just imagine, let's say this is your data stored in, let's say, AWS or let's say Azure, anywhere. Okay. Anywhere. And this is your Databricks. Okay. Databricks. In Databricks, you are processing the data. Okay. Now in Databricks, you want to create tables, right? Obviously, in order to work with the data. Okay. Because we just work with the structured data. Even if it is not structured, we behave and we make it like a structured data. Okay. Okay, makes sense. So we need to create tables. Now, how we can create tables on top of this data? How? Quite impossible, right? Not really. With the help of Unity catalog, we can do that. Really? Yes, we can do that. And there we also want to talk about the concept called managed tables and external tables. Okay, that will be a very fun section of this video. So we're going to talk about all of these things. And now the thing is the most important thing. I want to govern this data. let's say in my AWS bucket or in my Azure Data Lake Storage Gen 2, I have some data which looks like this. Like let's say my files. Okay, my files are here. Now I do not want to create any table. Okay, but still I want to govern this file. That means I want to see like what is the catalog, what is the database, what is the schema of that particular file. So we can even register this file under this particular database or basically catalog. In Databricks, we use the name called catalog instead of database, but ideally it is equivalent to database. Okay, just for your confusion. So we can even do that with the Unity catalog. So in short, just for now, just for like understanding for now, you can say that Unity catalog helps us to apply a governing layer on top of your data, which is residing in your cloud, because obviously we store our data in cloud. You can govern that data through catalogs, which are equivalent to databases. You can create tables, you can create views, you can create volumes, you can create functions. Whoa. What is volume? We're gonna talk about it as well. Don't need to worry. Okay. So in short, now let's try to understand like what is written in the definition. Unity catalog is a centralized data catalog that provides access control, auditing, lineage, quality monitoring and data discovery capabilities across Databricks workspaces. These are the top 5 level, you can say, or 5 top features that it provides. First of all, access control. Access control means you can actually control who should see your data and who should not. Let's take the same example. Your data is residing here in the lake, right? Or you can say AWS. Okay, GCP as well. Let's not hurt GCP users. Okay, Azure, AWS, GCP. Okay, now you have, let's say, created some objects in the Databricks. You have created tables on top of it, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Now you also need to manage who will see the data, who will not, who will see the table and who will not. Let's say within your team, you have the senior data analyst or senior data engineers. Make sense? Okay. And there are total 100 tables in your Databricks workspace. Okay. Or forget about Databricks. Let's say in your Azure or AWS data lake. You want to create some objects on top of that data, and you need to make sure that only 90 tables should be visible to all. All means senior, junior, new joinees, everyone. But those 10 tables should not be visible to anyone else, because those are sensitive data, and those 10 tables should be visible only to the senior data engineers or senior data analyst or senior data scientist. You can do it with access control feature of the Unity catalog. Make sense? This is one. Second, auditing. You can literally see the audits of your database, basically catalog, like what is like doing which query and what is the query taking the maximum time, which query is still running, which query is using the maximum compute. Everything is there. Literally everything is there. Who is the user performing this query? Okay, what is the query? You can literally see, right? Like what is the, like let's say there is a notorious person in your team and he or she is trying to, let's say, see the sensitive data, and the person is trying to like running the query again and again and again, and you are like, hey, what's going on? Let's see what query this person is running. So you can literally check the query as well. Yes, this is called transparency. Then lineage. This is very important, and I love this feature, lineage. Basically, let's say if you have heard this concept called medallion architecture. If yes, then it's good. Otherwise, do not need to worry, because medallion architecture is the modern data engineering architecture that we use to build the projects, where we create 3 layers. 3 layers are called as bronze, okay, then silver, then gold. So let's say you have 3 tables in the gold layer, okay. Gold layer means you can say 3 layers, bronze means raw layer, silver means enriched layer, gold means curated layer. Simple, nothing fancy. Okay, so let's say in the gold layer, you have 3 tables. Okay, just be with me because this is very cool and this is the game changing thing. I personally love it. Let's say 3 tables. Okay, you are using these three tables. Very good. Data analytics team is using 3 tables. Very good. Everything is running fine. Suddenly, let's say today, okay, so this was working fine since the beginning. Today, you got the request, hey, Mr. Mrs. Miss Data Engineer, out of these 3 tables, one table is actually not returning us the correct numbers. You will be like, okay. The person obviously doesn't know what is the source of that table or what is that table. The person is using just the table. Person will say, bro, I need to get it fixed right away. You have 3 to 4 hours, 6 hours, you have to do it. The person is not like actually forcing you, but it is a priority, right? You can just feel like what I'm trying to say. It is a priority. Then if there is no system or no architecture to track what is the source of that particular table which is causing the issue, you will spend, forget about hours, you will spend days to figure out what's going on. But with the concept called lineage that we get with Unity Catalog, you can literally track that this table, let's say out of these 3 tables, this table was causing an issue. Okay, you can literally track that this table is actually using, let's say, table called X in the silver layer, and this table X is using, let's say, table Y in bronze, and this table bronze Y is using, let's say, table A. So you can literally track back. You can literally track back and find what is the source of which table and what is the error. Because in order to rectify the things, you need to just track back like what is the source of that particular issue. You can do it with lineage. And I will just show you everything, don't need to worry. Quality monitoring, you can literally create your monitoring dashboard for your queries. Like how my queries are behaving, is it taking longer, is it taking less time, whatever. You can literally create your own monitoring basically dashboard kind of thing, like not like real dashboard, but it will give you some metrics similar to KPIs. It will give you some metrics that you can track. Amazing thing. Data discovery tab is again like very, very cool. Here you can literally see the details of your table, whether your table is external or because see, in the organization, when you join the organization, okay, you will literally see hundreds of tables, even more than that. But you cannot remember like which table is external, which table is managed, which table is stored where. All that information is there in the data discovery. You do not need to remember anything, and you cannot even remember, bro. You are not a machine, you are a human being. Yes, you have the capability to remember more things than machine, but you know, like in today's era, people do not use their brain. They simply rely on systems or architecture. That is a good thing because you can use that brain in somewhere else, but people just use it in other things. Okay, so in data discovery, you can literally see what is the data type of your columns, what is the you can say type of table, managed, external, where it is stored if it is external. Okay, if it is managed, where it is stored, everything, literally everything. So these are basically the 5 top features of Unity Catalog, and I hope that you are getting some conceptual vibe that I'm trying to say, because I gonna show you everything. Okay, so very good. Now these are some of the things that we just talked right now. Okay, define one, secure everywhere. I love this line, that's why I just put it here. So the thing is, you just define the governing layer once, okay, and you can use it everywhere. What do we mean by that? So let's say you have your Databricks workspace. Okay, Databricks workspace 1, and this is your Databricks workspace 2. And this Databricks workspace actually created one catalog. Okay, now you want to use this catalog in this particular Databricks workspace. You can do that with the help of Unity Catalog. Make sense? And I also just call it as United Catalog because you can reuse those catalogs throughout the Databricks workspaces. And it was not possible before. No. But now it is possible. But yes, there's a condition with that. You have to have the same Unity Metastore with that. There are some jargons right now that you will be feeling, hey, what is he saying? Do not need to worry. Okay. But I just wanted to build an end-to-end conceptual vibe before diving deep into each concept. And just to like take you to the documentation page, the official documentation of Databricks, I just want to put some more focus on this particular statement that I'm going to make, that learning Databricks is one thing, like how to create a notebook, how to write PySpark code, how to do this. Okay, it's very good. But if your target is to, let's say, crack your dream role, dream job, dream company, and they are using Databricks, Unity Catalog is that topic which will be there. I am 99.99% sure. This is one area of that. Second, even if you have cracked the role somehow, okay, and they are using Databricks, you have to know Unity Catalog in detail in order to work with Databricks. Reason, because Databricks has almost downgraded the previous version, which is like Hive Metastores. It is still there in some areas, but in 99% of the cases, people are using Unity Catalog. So you have to eventually have to learn and understand Unity Catalog. So why not now? Do not feel like, hey, this is a different concept and we do not need it. No, this is a concept that if you know this in detail, Databricks is just a piece of cake for you. Why? Because other than Unity Catalog, other things are just the features that will be keep on adding throughout the journey. Okay, but Unity Catalog is the backbone. Make sense? So I just wanted to put more effort on this particular statement so that you will understand why I am saying it again and again. Just for your good cause, just for your success, and that's it. Okay. I would be creating a very like usual tutorial. Okay, hey, how to write PySpark code, and you'll be feeling very, very happy. Hey, I'm just writing PySpark code. And do you know what? Databricks is not just about writing PySpark code. Databricks is actually like building an end-to-end solution for the enterprise. And you need to know Unity Catalog for that. Make sense? Okay. And I know that you will trust this guy and you will just pay some attention to my thoughts. Okay. Very good. So now what we're gonna do, we gonna just look at the official documentation of Databricks Unity Catalog, and we're gonna see like each and every layer of Unity Catalog. There are basically four layers. Yeah, there are totally 4 layers that we're gonna see, 3 to 4 layers, and let's see what are those 4 layers, major layers of Unity Catalog. Okay, now we're gonna go a little bit technical. Let's see. So I am here on the official documentation of Databricks that you can also see. Okay, so there are basically 2 documentation. One is for Azure, second for AWS, but obviously Databricks is Databricks. Okay, same for both. So you can just pick any documentation. So I just found this link, so I just took this particular documentation. Okay, so we have covered the overview of this part, so you can definitely skip this. We're gonna directly jump onto this particular image. First of all, this is the architecture of Databricks. Yes, you just need to understand this, and that's it. Really, this is so simple, right? Kind of simple, but yeah, the complex things will also be simple in this particular video. Okay, so now first thing first, the top level of Unity Catalog is Metastore. Okay, and it's called as Unity Metastore. And bro, just a quick advice for you, whatever we are discussing right now, you have to take notes, because like it's your choice. You can either take notes from this documentation, whatever, you have to take notes. You need to store this information somewhere else. Okay, because it will be very, very helpful. Okay, makes sense. So now this is called Unity Metastore. Okay, now what is Unity Metastore? First of all, what is Metastore? What is Metastore? Metastore is the repository, is the central location where we store our metadata. Okay, where we store our metadata. Metadata about what? It can be about database, basically catalog. It can be about schema. It can be about table. It can be about number of columns, whatever. Metadata in short, simple. That is called Metastore. Make sense? Okay. So now let's see what is written here. So Metastore. The Metastore is the top level container for metadata in Unity Catalog. It registers metadata about data, right? And AI assets. This is a new thing because now obviously we know that Databricks is booming in the AI space as well. So earlier it was just about metadata about data. Now AI assets as well. Okay. AI assets means model permissions. There are like so many frameworks that we can just say, we can just create so many functions and all those things. Okay. And the permission that govern access to them. For a workspace to use Unity Catalog, it must have a Unity Catalog Metastore attached. What did I say? In order to enable Unity Catalog, we have to have a Unity Catalog Metastore, or you can say Unity Metastore. I call it as Unity Metastore. It is like easy to call, but you can also call it as Unity Catalog Metastore. Same thing. Okay. So you have to have Unity Metastore. There is one more condition. You should have one Metastore for each region in which you have workspaces. So that means you can only create one Metastore per region. Okay. Okay. Makes sense. Stop here. So Metastore is this one. Makes sense. Then we have catalog. This is called Unity Catalog. Okay. This is the Unity Catalog. And in order to enable this, we have to have what? Metastore. Unity Metastore, right? Very good. Very, very, very good. Now, what does it mean? What is Unity Catalog? So basically in a Unity Catalog Metastore, 3-level database object hierarchy consists of catalog that contains schemas and blah, 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 blah. Basically what it is trying to say, we have the catalog. Okay. So whatever you want to create, let's say I want to create a table, which is a very common thing. So you have to follow 3-level naming space. First level naming space will be catalog. Then second level namings will be schema, like what is a schema, and within that schema, the table name. And I would say in the industry as well, 3-level naming space strategy has been becoming the normal thing right now. Okay. Earlier you would have seen like 2-level naming space, just schema and table, that's it. But now catalog as well, because now you can create multiple catalogs. Okay. Earlier you could not be like, you would not be able to create multiple catalogs. Make sense? Just like simple language that you can just use to explain things. Okay, so this is all about the catalog. So this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3, this is level 4, or people say it as level 1, level 2, level 3, because this is the mandatory thing. So people just call it as level 0. So it's your choice. And it is also written in level 1 for catalogs. Okay, so this is our level 1. Now, level 2 is schema. Now, what is a schema? Bro, this is the most simplest thing that you would be assuming here. SQL, if you have ever used SQL, whenever you create a database, you always create a schema, right? If you do not create a schema, it is DBO by default. This is the same thing here. That's it. That's it. Whenever you create a catalog, you have to create a schema, right? In real world, you can create schema for, let's say, bronze, silver, gold. Okay. Real world example. And within that, you can save your tables. Make sense? Okay. Now, the level 2, let's see like what is written. Schemas, also known as databases, contain tables, views, volumes. Ansh, stop here. You said that catalogs are equivalent of database. Now it is saying that schemas are equivalent to database. Bro, let me just make it clear. See, every tool and technology has their naming convention. Okay, this is fact number 1. Ideally, if you will assume this as a database, you will be confused. So always try to feel it as like a, this is your database, and within that you have a schema. Why? because I knew you are, because I know like you are coming from a SQL background. You have already understood the SQL concepts. In the SQL as well, we first create the database, then we create the schema, then we create the tables or views. Same thing here as well. Okay. In some SQL servers, we do not create schema, but in, let's say in Postgre, we create schemas, right? In Microsoft SQL Server, we create schemas. So it is like that. So do not feel confused. Just a naming convention. But if you want to understand it for now, you should consider catalog as a database. Then within that your schema, then table. Simple. Okay. Okay. Then level 3. This is very interesting. Why? Because this is unknown to you. Because you have only heard about these two things, tables and views. But you haven't heard about volume and functions. What are the, actually you would have heard about function as well, because in SQL as well you create functions, right? But what is this volume? Volume is an amazing thing that we're going to talk about very, very soon. So do not need to worry. Okay. So this is a kind of high level architecture for your Unity catalog and the 4 different layers that are important. Okay. And if I just scroll down, we have this concept that we're going to talk about here as well. But before jumping on this concept, I am gonna ask you a very simple question. What is that question? Okay, let me just open a online paint. Online paint. If we have any online paint, what is this? Okay, okay, let's use this. So let's say Ansh Lamba. Yes, sir. Why do we need to use Unity catalog? If things were working fine before, you should ask this question, okay? Because it's a very good question. If you have this question in your mind, then very good. Because I also had this question, like why we are using Unity catalog? Why? Okay, this is Unity catalog. This is doing a lot of things. Okay, first of all, question has 2 parts basically. Question has 2 parts. First of all, the question has this part, let's say, why we are using Unity catalog, right? Why Unity catalog? And here we are not talking about Unity catalog provides you this lineage, blah, blah, blah. Yes, this is obviously, these are the obvious reasons. Like you get lineage, you get auditing, you get data discovery, you get everything, right? That we discussed. But let's assume that we are not getting these things, or even if we are getting these things, is there any other reason we should use Unity catalog other than these factors? Yes. Let's talk about that, because that is pure technical stuff for data engineers. Okay. So we know that we get Unity catalog, we get data discovery, data lineage, auditing, access control, everything. We know that. But let's keep those things aside. Let's see like what do we actually get with Unity catalog? Okay. And what is a bigger picture if we just talk about Unity catalog other than those reasons? Okay. And what was the picture before Unity catalog, right? Because Databricks was working fine before as well, but now what's the difference? So difference is very, very good. So let me just tell you earlier. Okay. Let's talk about earlier. So earlier, let's say you have your Databricks workspace like this. Okay. Databricks workspace 1. Okay. As we all know, that Databricks workspace doesn't store any data. It is always connected to a cloud account. Okay, so let's say this is connected to the ADLS Gen 2. Okay, makes sense. So where will be the Metastore residing? Metastore will be residing here. Common sense. Because there's only one account, right? So Metastore. Okay, so Metastore is also here. Makes sense. Okay. Okay. Now, let's say I want to create some managed tables. Okay. Some managed tables. Oops. Let me just rewrite for you. So this is our Databricks workspace. And here we have storage account. So sorry for that. Okay, and here we have Metastore. Okay. So now let's say you want to create some manage tables. Okay. Manage tables. Okay. So now we know that whenever we create manage tables, or let's say we want to store any metadata, everything will be stored in the Metastore, right? Common sense. It will be stored here, or not actually here. It will be stored here because this Metastore is linked to this ADLS Gen 2, right? This is connected to this, like this. Okay. So whatever we are storing in the Metastore, everything will be stored in this ADLS Gen 2. Then obviously in my organization, I will not be just working with only single Databricks workspace. I will create more. So here, let's say this is my second Databricks workspace. Okay. Now I am attaching this storage here, ADLS Gen 2. Okay. And then this will be a Metastore. And in this Metastore, we were using Hive Metastore. Okay. Hive Metastore. Within that Hive Metastore, we used to have tables or everything. Now I am creating manage tables here as well. Makes sense. Now this will be saved here. First problem, more number of Databricks workspace I am creating, more number of Metastores I need to manage, because each Metastore is just assigned to one workspace, right? Hive Metastore, that is default Metastore. Second, each Metastore is having its own storage account, so all the managed data will be distributed among so many storage accounts, right? It is similar to order of n. Hey Anshlamba, we're not talking about DSA, but yeah, like if you know about big O notation, so it is like order of n, right? So more number of workspaces you have, more number of ADLS Gen 2 accounts you need to manage, more number of Metastores you need to manage, right? So it is a very hectic task. Second problem, you cannot actually share this Metastore with this one, right? Whatever tables, whatever you have created here, you cannot actually share it here. Like this workspace cannot directly access it, right? Now Unity catalog comes into the picture. So they say, hey bro, first of all, let's create our Metastore. So we will create only one Metastore. So we will create our Metastore. This is a kind of global Metastore. Okay, makes sense. Within this Metastore, what we will do, we can literally attach our all the workspaces that we have. Okay, I have workspace 1. Okay, I have workspace 2. Then I have workspace 3. Okay, workspace 1, workspace 2, workspace 3. Done. And they have their catalogs. Okay, they have their catalogs. So now what I will do, I will not attach this workspace with any cloud account. Why? Because you know the answer. Because now Metastore has that particular storage account. Like you can, and I will just show you, but let's say we want to just replicate the same scenario, right? So this is our ADLS Gen 2. Okay, so this is attached here. So now if I'm creating any managed tables here, okay, managed, and managed. So all will be created inside the same Metastore because all are connected to the same Metastore, and all will be saved only in the one storage account. First benefit. Second benefit, you can literally share these managed table across the workspaces. Why? Because Unity catalog. See, you can literally use it across Databricks workspaces. Literally share it like with any Databricks workspace. This is the major difference between how Databricks was working before and now. Okay, makes sense? Makes sense. And obviously along with this particular feature, you have a long list of auditing, lineage, data access control, data discovery, everything. Literally everything. Make sense? So this was the high level overview of it. Now, Ansh Lamba, we are so good and we want to explore Databricks right away. So how we can just create our Databricks? So Databricks provides you the free edition as well that you can just create. You can simply go to browser, simply search Databricks free edition. Okay, you can create that, but if you want to understand Databricks Unity Catalog, you have to create your cloud instance because it will allow you to store your data within the Azure or basically any storage account, and then you will be able to see how it takes. So see, the thing is, now you are mastering Unity Catalog. You should know how you create the objects, how you create even the Metastore, how you create the Unity Catalog. You need to understand all of these things. Make sense? And for that, you also need to understand how you provide the access, how you just allow your Databricks talk to your data lake. So you need to know all of those things in order to become competitive with Databricks. Because currently, let me be very honest with you, bro, everyone knows Databricks. Let me be very honest with you, because Databricks is growing rapidly and everyone wants to just learn Databricks, and everyone is learning Databricks from wherever. But what will be the deciding factor, like who is more skillful, who is less skillful? This is the area that we are going to discuss now. How to create metastores, how to create Unity catalogs, how to grant access, everything. So I decided to just show you each and everything. I will hold your hand and I will just show you, hey, you do this thing by this. Hey, you do this thing using this thing. So I have to just show you all of those things. Okay. So for that, what we're going to do, we will simply create our Azure account, and it is also free. You can simply go to browser and simply search Azure free account and you will land on this particular page. Again, you can use any cloud provider because Databricks is efficient with AWS, Azure, GCP, everything, but I love Azure, so I will just show you through Azure. And you can say try Azure for free and it will give you 30 days of free trial of using Azure. Okay, and within that we can create free Databricks instance as well. And yes, free Databricks is also giving you free access for 14 days. You will say, will we get all the features? Yes, literally everything for 14 days. Okay, so we're gonna see like how we can just do that. So it's your responsibility, create your Azure account. If you have already created your free account, then obviously you have to create the paid account. So it's your responsibility. You need to decide what way you need to pick to create your Azure account. Simple. If you have not created Azure account for free, then you have to just you click on this particular thing, try Azure for free, and you will land on this particular page. And you like I already created the account, so I already have that account. So in your case, you can just sign up and you can just create your Azure account. Okay, if you have Azure account, very good. If you had Azure account and it is expired, like 30 days are over, then you can simply go with pay as you go. It's your choice. Okay, I will not force you, hey, do this, hey, do that. No, bro, choice is yours. Okay, because everyone has their own preferences, priorities in their life, so I do not want to force anyone. It's your choice. And yes, that's it. So once you have created your Azure account, then let's go to the Azure portal quickly. And how you can just go there, you can simply, oh, let me just show you. Otherwise you say, hey bro, how did you go there? Simply search portal.azure.com. This is the URL for it. Hit enter, and then you just need to put your email account, okay, whatever you have used, and then you will land on the Azure portal. Okay, what do you want, man? Okay, so this is my Azure portal. First of all, just ignore my resources because I create so many resources. Okay, so this is basically the Azure portal home page. Cool. So I love the UI. Okay, so currently what we're gonna do, first of all, without wasting any time, we simply gonna, if you are not familiar with Azure, do not need to worry, bro, because I am literally gonna hold your hand and I'm gonna just show you how to do all of these things. Okay, so just follow the steps. So currently this section, like in just next few minutes, we'll be just creating our resources. Okay, free resources. Once it is done, then we're gonna jump directly into the Databricks. Okay, makes sense? Okay, let's do that. So I will simply search it here, resource group. And here you will see resource group. Yeah, resource group. So now what is resource group? Resource group is basically the folder where you put all of the cloud resources. Okay, so let's create a new one and I will just call it as, let's say, Databricks Unity. Okay, Databricks Unity. And region will be Canada Central. Let's pick US East. Yeah, let's pick US East. Okay, then review plus create. Okay, so this is done. You can search it here as well, and I can simply go to resource group. So this is our resource group, which is currently empty. Now we gonna create two things, basically three things. First of all, a data lake, okay, storage account. Second is Databricks. Make sense? So let's quickly create the data lake first of all. So let me just click on create, and I will simply say storage account. Bro, what do you want? Search with AI. We do not want to search it. Okay, so simply search storage account, hit enter, and here you will see storage account by Microsoft. Click this and create, and here you will see storage account name, and your resource group is already filled because you created storage account within the resource group. Okay, so storage account name, you can just put anything. It should be unique, by the way. So I'll simply say Databricks Unity if it is available. No, so I'll simply say Ansh, Databricks Unity Ansh. It should be available. Okay, preferred storage type, simply say Azure Blob Storage Gen 2. Primary workload, big data analytics. Okay, then you have to pick big data analytics. Okay, you have to. Otherwise it will not create the data lake for you, and you have to do the manual things. Okay, then pick LRS, which is the cheapest one. Then you can simply say next, and just make sure this hierarchical namespace is checked. It is already checked this time because you picked big data analytics workload. Otherwise it would be unchecked. You have to check it. Okay, now review plus create. That's it. So it will create our data lake, okay, that we'll be just using for our Databricks. Then simply say create. It will take hardly few seconds to deploy this data lake into our Azure server. Make sense? Make sense. Okay, so let me just show you. So if you just want to, let's say, navigate, let's say you just closed your window, right? Simply go to resource groups and just search your resource group name, and you need to click on it and you will see it here. So now it is created. Let me just refresh 2 to 3 times and it is here. Perfect. So my storage account is here. Very good. Then I need to create the Databricks workspace. Okay, and it will be free, don't worry. So let me just click on create and then Databricks, and I can click on Azure Databricks. Okay, click on create, and this is the page. Now you need to focus, okay, because it is tricky. First of all, workspace name. So I will quickly say Databricks Unity Ansh. Okay, perfect. Region is East US. Now pricing tier. Pricing tier is premium, but you can simply pick trial because it is premium, similar to premium, but just for 14 days. Okay, just for 14 days. That's what we want. Now it is saying managed resource group. Now what is this managed resource group? Basically, whenever we create the Databricks workspace, it creates the resources for us under the hood. Let's say I want to create all purpose compute. Let's say I want to do anything else. Okay, I will just show you when I'll be just giving a quick overview of Databricks. Don't worry, like how it creates the compute and all everything. So we need to create a managed resource group for Databricks to manage the resources for us. What kind of resources? Disk, virtual network, VMs, everything. We do not touch this resource group. I know some of you will say, hey, let's peek inside what is there. No, it is just for Databricks. Okay, and just for the better maintenance and better, you can say, because see, when you will be having so many Databricks workspaces, you will be having so many resource groups as well. So it will be very difficult to find that particular resource group name. So ideally what I do, I simply pick the same name. Oh, this one. And I just add managed before it, because I would know like this is the managed resource group for this particular workspace. That's a smart choice, right? And I know I'm smart. So then networking, then yes, next, and create. Perfect. So this will create our Databricks workspace. Okay, very good. Very, very, very good. And now how we can just find it? You can simply say Databricks Unity, and it will take few seconds to create it. And you can also check the notification bar. Deployment is in progress. Let's wait. Let's wait. And meanwhile, it is creating your Databricks workspace. Let me just tell you, what do I mean by managed resource group? Like, what are those resources it creates? And for that, you would need to understand the Databricks architecture. Okay, it's a fun learning, and you're gonna love it. So let me just show you Databricks architecture. Okay, perfect. So this is Databricks architecture. Wow, high level architecture. They have recently updated their notes, and I'm loving these images. So well done, Databricks. Well done. So if you want to understand the Databricks workspace architecture, so this is the architecture. This is the traditional architecture. What do I mean by traditional architecture? So basically, traditional architecture means without serverless compute and all, or basically you can say with serverless compute as well, but just forget about it. Let's talk about. So basically, when you create a Databricks account, right? Whenever you create a Databricks workspace, anything. So you have basically two major areas, control plane and compute plane, or basically control plane and data plane. Okay, makes sense? Control plane and compute plane. So basically control plane, what is control plane? Control plane is whatever is on the Databricks side, whatever is on the Databricks workspace side. Okay, and what does it contain? It contains your application, web application that you will be just using very, very soon. Then Unity catalog, then queries, then compute orchestration. Whatever you do within your Databricks workspace is your control plane, which is on the Databricks side. The compute, your virtual machines, all of those things, and obviously your data lake is on the cloud account, is on the cloud side, which is called compute plane. So your control plane resides on the Databricks side, your compute plane resides on the cloud side. Make sense? But this was the traditional approach. But after the serverless compute plane, now what is the serverless compute plane? So basically Databricks said, hey bro, we know that you are spending a lot of money in creating clusters, and you do not even need, and you do not even know how to manage those clusters, and you end up getting huge bills. So we gonna just take this pain from you, and we have created something called as serverless compute, which will be automatically scaling up, which will be using IWM, that means intelligent workload management, which will be using AI predictions as well, whatever, but it will give you the best compatibility, best performance, and best scalability automatically. And that resides on your Databricks side. But if you do not use serverless compute, then your normal compute, which is also called as all-purpose compute, will be residing here on the cloud account side. And this is the storage account that it uses to create those machines, right? But we also gonna use serverless compute. I love serverless compute because it is very quick and very efficient and very, very good. Okay, so this is the modern architecture where your Databricks control plane, okay, and compute plane both resides on the Databricks side, and only the cloud storage will reside on the cloud side, basically the storage account, external location. Make sense? Very, very, very good. So this was a quick overview of Databricks architecture that you should know. Okay, and let me just refresh. I think this is also done. Yes. So we have two things: Databricks Unity Ansh storage account, Databricks Unity Ansh Databricks workspace. Okay, very good. So these are the two things that we have created. So I am very excited to get directly into this Databricks workspace, and let's see and launch this. Okay, let's launch this. So it will simply open up the Databricks web UI for us, where we'll be just looking at almost all the things that we were discussing. So this is the UI for us. Okay, and yeah, first of all, have a look. How do you feel? Like, how's it? I personally love its UI. So first of all, if you focus, you will see that the major area of Databricks is on the left hand side. whatever you will work with is on the left hand side, and that's true. That's true. Okay. So this is the area that you will be most of the time using. Okay. And I know that we're going to talk about Unity catalog more. So we do not need to go deeper inside each and everything, but this is the UI that you see. Okay. So first of all, you have workspace. Workspace is basically a kind of folder where you store your all the objects, notebooks, Python scripts, SQL scripts, all the things. Okay. Then you have recents. Recents means like whatever you have recently opened. Then you have catalog. Okay. Then this is the Unity catalog, by the way, but we do not need to explore this right now because there are some prerequisites before jumping directly into it. Then you have jobs and pipelines. Then you have compute. This is the compute that you were talking about. Then you have marketplace, similar to Azure. Databricks also has a marketplace where you can just use the third-party tools and services. Then SQL. This is for just pure SQL, where you can just run SQL queries and everything. Okay. Then we have data engineering, where you have job runs, data ingestion, and this is AI and ML part. If you do not see all the things here, you can simply click on new and you will see more things here, as you can see, right? And sometimes even if you do not see all the things here, that means you have not enabled many features such as like agent breaks and all those things. You need to enable those things. And how you can just enable those things, we do not need to worry about that because we are just talking about Unity catalog. Make sense? Okay. Now, first of all, in order to create Unity catalog, if you remember, you first need to create a Metastore, right? Good. How you can create a Unity Metastore? How? You cannot create it through here. Really? Yes, you cannot. You have to click on this drop down and you will see something called as manage account. Okay. What is this manage account? This is the account console. And I know you will not be able to see account manage account if this is your first time. Why? Because by default it is only and only. And by the way, Ansh Lamba, what is this? Ansh Databricks Dev, what is this? Because you just created this workspace. All these questions will be answered when I will just show you the admin console. Okay. So for now, in your case, you will just see this. You will not even see manage account and nothing. So account console is only available to the admins, and I am the admin. That means this email ID is the admin of this particular workspace. You will say, Ansh Lamba, I am also the admin of my workspace. I have also created this workspace. No, you are not the admin. Then who is the admin? Admin is your cloud account, your ext account. If you go to these three bars and if you go to, let's say, Entra ID, where is Entra ID? Let me click on these things and Entra. If you see Entra, you will see users and here is the user. So if you click on it, you will see this ID. This is the admin of the Databricks workspace, not your regular Gmail account. Oh, so you need to log in to the admin console first of all through this ext account, and then you need to make your regular Gmail account as the admin. And how we can just do that? How? So let me just tell you. So there's a special link that I can just show you. I have not noted down, okay, but I can just try searching it on browser. So Azure, I think it goes like something like this. Azure Databricks, something like this. No, so let me just search Azure Databricks console login. So they are saying account, yeah, this one, accounts.azuredatabricks.net. I think so. I think this is the one. Yeah. So this is the link that you can also see, accounts.azuredatabricks.net. Okay, so you can just put your ext account here in the login and then just click on login and sign in, and it will ask me to just put the number, and in your first case it will ask you to just set up those things, so you can just set up. Okay, it's not a big deal. And once you do that, okay, I have done that. Okay, then it will, so this is my account console. See, this is my account console. So you have to use that particular ext account. If you are using it for first time, it will ask you for like change the password, set up something and all those things. So you can do that as well. It's not a big deal. Okay, it's not a big deal. So now you will see that I have logged into this particular login console using my ext account. Okay, good. So now what you can do, you can simply go to user management. Okay, and here you can add user. I think by default your normal email ID will also be there. So what you can do, you can click on this particular name and you can go to roles and you can simply say account admin. When this email ID will be account admin, and if you just refresh and apply it, if you just go back to a Databricks workspace, you should see manage account here. If it does not appear, allow some time, it will be there. Even if it is not there, sometimes it can take, let's say, 1 day. You can still go to this account console using your ext account. Make sense? Simple, sorted? Okay, very good. So this way you can just have a look like what's going on and all other things, right? Okay, good. So this is the first thing that you need to do. Okay, because I know you will be like, hey, where's the manage account and blah, blah, blah. Now we are into the account console. And do you know what? This is the area where you can create your Unity Metastore. Oh, okay. Yes, this is the area. So how you can just create Unity Metastore, let me just show you. And do you know what? The good thing is by default, they have already created that Unity Metastore for you. Yes. But I will just show you how you can just create your own Unity Metastore. Because I do not like using their own Unity Metastore. I like creating my own. Okay, so you can simply go to catalog. And here you will see Metastores, all the Metastores. By default, here are my 2 other Metastores that I created in the past. And this is just created, okay, today. Okay, so I can click here and I can literally delete it. Because I want to create my own Unity Metastore. And in order to delete it, you can simply say delete. Perfect. Okay, so these 2 Metastores are created before, but now we're going to create a new one. How we can create a Unity Metastore? How? It's very, very simple. Click on create Metastore. But we do not need to directly create Unity Metastore. Why? Because if you understood all the things so far, then I'm going to ask you one question. Online Paint. Okay. By the way, this website is cool, man. Shout out whoever created this website, clicky.com. Good job. So now let's say, do we have anything to pick the shapes? Not really. Okay, it's fine. So let's say I have this particular Databricks workspace. Okay. Okay, I have this Databricks workspace. Okay, and I want to create a Metastore. Metastore. And in order to create this Metastore, I need to attach it to storage account, right? If you remember. And we have the storage account. Yes. Now this is the Metastore. Okay. This is Azure storage account. How I can attach this thing? How? Because this is totally different service by Databricks. This is totally different service by Azure. How I can just allow this to use this particular storage account and how I can just link it? How? So here comes the tool to connect it. So what gonna happen? So if we do not have any kind of tool, so this Metastore will go to this storage account. It will say, bro, I want to use your location to store my data. It will say, bro, who are you? Let's say there's a security guard here. Okay, the same security guard that you will see on your university gate or college gate, or that you would have seen that particular security guard. So he will say, hey bro, where's your ID card? There's no ID card. You cannot store anything here. Just go back. But now what I'm gonna do, I will introduce something called as connector. Okay, this is a connector. And this connector has access to this you can say data lake. How this connector has the access? Because I have given the access to this particular connector. Okay. Or let's say I will just show you how you can just give the access, but this connector has the access. So this Metastore will say, this time like this, bro. And this time it will take connector with him as well. So it will say, bro, I want to just use this data, and this security guard will ask the same question. Hey, where's your ID card? So this time this particular Metastore will show this ID card, which is called connector. And this time the security guard will say, yeah, come here and store your data, whatever you want to do. So now you can just enter and store your data. Make sense? Make sense? So how we can just create this connector, and what is this connector? It is very simple. Simply go to your Azure, okay, go to your resource groups and go to Databricks, Unity, and here you will see, or basically you need to create a service. It's called Access Connector. It's a special connector service in Azure for Databricks. So this is the name, Access Connector for Azure Databricks. Simply click on this and you can simply say create, and name will be, let's say, Databricks Unity Ansh, okay, and then simply say review plus create, and that's it. It will be created like very soon. Very quick. And once this is created, okay, told you, bro, this is created. So let me just go to the Databricks resource group. If I refresh it, so I should see this here. See, so now what we're gonna do, we're gonna allow the permissions to use everything within the storage account. Okay, how we can just do that? Simply go to this particular storage account, go to access control, then go to, see, these are the things that you need to know if you want to become an outlier, like how to configure all these things. These are all the senior level things that you do in an organization. Then simply say add role assignment, and here you can simply search the role called data contributor, something like that, storage blob contributor, storage blob data contributor. Yeah, perfect. Next. So here you will simply say manage identity, select members, and here you will say access connector, and then you simply need to search the access connector that you created. I think this is the one, and select. So review plus sign. So what will happen? This particular access connector will have the role called storage blob data contributor that can be used to perform anything, read data, write data, whatever. Okay, makes sense? Very good. So if I see the roles now, or role assignments, I will see this particular connector has the role. Perfect. Now we are good. And one more thing that we need to do is we will go inside the storage account. We'll go inside the containers. We will create a container just for the Metastore, because we can create as many containers as we want. Okay. And we want to create a Metastore container that will be used just by Databricks, and we will not touch it. Okay. We will not touch it. Okay. Now we are good. Now if you just go to create Metastore, and you will simply say, what is the name of this Metastore? I will simply say Metastore US, simple, because it is in the US Metastore, like US region. Region will be US, East US, okay, and you need to pick the same region, okay. And ADLS path, now this is optional. This thing is optional, but you know what? If you do not provide the storage location here, what it gonna do? So let's say this is your Metastore. So if you do not provide any kind of storage account here, which I do not like, I always try to just provide location at the Metastore level. So if you do not provide any location here, so whenever you will be creating any catalog, you have to provide the storage account name, or basically storage account here in the catalog level. Okay, and we're gonna just talk about this in detail. Okay, because there's a detailed topic. Let me just show you. If I go down, and first of all, we're gonna talk about external tables and location credential, this thing, governing access to cloud storage using external location. We're gonna talk about it, don't worry. And then we're gonna talk about managed storage location hierarchy. This is the most important thing, and you need to understand this thing in detail. This thing, you need to understand this, and I will make you understand, don't need to worry. Okay, so let's go back to our this thing, and I will provide the location name. So what is the location name? Location name is very simple. I will simply say container name. Container name is, I know that Metastore. Okay. Metastore @ storage account name. Storage account name is Databricks Unity Ansh. Okay. .dfs .core .windows.net. Simple. And then you can simply provide / perfect. Access connector ID. So it is saying, hey, I will access to this particular storage account, basically this container, but where's the ID card? So ID card is here, bro. Let me just give the ID card. So ID card, just go to that particular access connector and click on it, and you will see this resource ID. Okay. Simply bring this up here, and that's it. Okay. Then you can simply say create. So this has created our Metastore, and it will take, I think, hardly 2 to 3 seconds. And then it will say it is created. So now you can see that it is done. And now we can also pick what kind of Databricks workspace we want to assign it. So I can assign this newly created workspace to it, and I can simply say assign. Okay, enable Unity catalog. Yes, we want to enable the Unity catalog, and that's it. Perfect. So now you are the, you have created this Metastore, and now you are the admin of this Metastore. But you know what? You need to do one more thing, because now you are the admin of this. But if you just click on it, it is your ext account who is the admin. It is not your normal Gmail account, because you will be using your normal Gmail account to log into this, right? So you will be seeing some errors like you do not have permission. So in order to mitigate those things, simply go here in the Metastore and click on edit. And instead of creating this ext account, you should create the group called admins. And I think by default it will be there. And you should save this particular group. And now this admins group is the admin of this Metastore. Go to user management, go to groups, and just see if you have admins. If you do not have, create a group from here and add both the email accounts, your ext account and your Gmail account, and then make admins as the owner of that Metastore. That's it. This is the work that you would need to do in order to create the Metastore. Now Metastore is done. Now go back to your Databricks workspace and refresh it. Okay. Now if I just go to catalog, now this is my catalog area that you are seeing here. And if I just go to settings, if I go to Metastore, I will see Metastore US. So this particular workspace is attached to this particular Metastore, right? If I click here, I will see all the information here. Very good. Very good. So now this is my catalog, and by default, I just have 2 catalogs, main and system. That's it. And examples, that's it. And legacy Hive Metastore that we do not talk about, because this is now legacy. Okay. Now I want to create catalogs for sure. Yes, for sure. But even before creating the catalogs, you need to create something called as external data and credentials. What do we mean by that? So now our Metastore is set up. Okay. Now we can create catalog as well. It's not a big deal. I can just show you right now as well. It's not a big deal. Let me just show you. Otherwise you will say, hey bro, just show us. Click on this plus button. Click on create a catalog. And let's say we want to create a catalog called bronze. Okay. And storage location, I will not provide any kind of storage location here. Why? Because I just want to use a default storage account location for my catalog. Okay. Simply say create. So this catalog will be created here. Catalog created. Very good. Configure catalog, grant, and next, and then save, and that's it. So this is my bronze catalog. Okay. And in this bronze catalog, I have default schema called default and information schema. Makes sense. So this is my catalog. Now within this, I want to talk about one thing. Let's say you have your data in this particular storage account. Okay. In this storage account, you have this data. Let's create a container called, let's say, raw. You have raw container in cloud. And in this raw container, you have some data. We will upload some data. Don't worry. You want to use this data to read it. Yes. And once you have read the data, you want to write this data as well. Let's say on rest. Okay. Because you will be just reading some data and you will be just writing the data to the different container. Common sense. Okay. Now you have raw container and on rest container. Okay. How you will read this data? You know the partial answer and I want to know that in the comment section. You will use access connector. Yes, but you have the access connector. That's true, but you need to register it in the Databricks as well. This time you cannot directly put the access connector ID that you put in the case of Metastore. Now, it's not a big deal. Just think of it like you have the ID card. Okay. Earlier you were showing the ID card directly to the guard. Now you need to, what you need to do? You need to, let's say, wrap that ID card and you need to wear it and you need to show it like this. Hey bro, see, this is my ID card. That's it. And that is called credential. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a credential here. And how you can just do that? Go to catalog, go to external data, go to credentials. Okay. Now click on create credential and you will see it is not even 1% different from access connector ID. You will see that. So credential name, I will simply say, let's say access connector ID, same thing. Just give the access connector ID. Okay. That you give in the case of, Metastore. Okay. Give it here and then comments and that's it. Okay. Create. Same thing. You have just given your access connector ID a name, or basically access connector a name. You have just given the name. That's it. This is called credential. That's it. Okay. So once you have the access connector ID within the Databricks, now you can create external locations. What do we mean by that? And so far we just have one external location, and this was created when we created the Metastore, right? So by default, we create external locations on the basis of the containers. Like this is the maximum access that you can just provide in the Azure or in case of data lake. So let's say you have this particular container. So there will be a different external location for this. Let's say you have on-rest. So you will be having different external location for this. Let's say you have raw. So you will be having different external location for this. So this way you will be having different external locations for each container. So far we have for Metastore. Now we need to create two, one for raw and one for enrich. That's it. Not a big deal. So let's do that quickly. So let me just click on external location. External location name will be, let's say, raw. Okay. And URL will be okay. So now here I think we need to pass the full URL. Okay, let's pass it abfss, and then container name is raw @ Databricks unity ansh.dfs.core.windows.net. This is basically the URL. Okay, so I'll simply say / right, and storage credential, we have the storage credential, access connector. That's it. Let's click on is there any way to test it? If I remove / it works. Okay. I was thinking just to, okay, let's click on create. So, okay, now we have test connection. Okay. So let's click on test connection. Oh, it is working fine. Very good. Very good. So now we can similarly create the one for enriched as well. So create external location, enriched, URL is this, but this time it is enriched. Perfect. Credential, this one, and create. Let's test connection. Okay, perfect. So external location is also done. Perfect. So now you have successfully set up all the access control, everything in your particular scenario. Make sense? How was it? So now, do you know what? You have literally covered this whole thing. And I know it was like looking a little bit complex, but all the things that we talked about, storage credential, external location, table, whatever, this is the thing. Okay. So now you are good. Okay. So now what we gonna do? We gonna create something called as manage tables and external locations, and obviously schema as well. Okay. Because now we need to understand what is this thing? Like what is going on here? So now you need to understand all these three layers, which is called Metastore level storage, catalog level storage, and schema level storage. Okay, and at the end we will talk about managed tables and external tables. That's it. Then you will be having a clear picture, very clear picture about Unity catalog, and you will be able to understand everything within the Unity catalog. And then at the end we also want to talk about functions, like how you can just create row level security, masking, and then obviously volumes, all those things. It's gonna be fun. Okay, so let's start it step by step, and let's learn first of all like how these levels of, you can say, things work. And for that we will be creating a workspace here. So let's create our first workspace. So in this particular workspace you will see I have nothing, right? Why? The most difficult question, why? Bro, because I haven't created anything. Let's create something. Create folder. Okay, and I will simply call it as, let's say, Databricks Unity catalog. Perfect. Create. Okay, cool. Perfect. So now let's create our notebook. Okay, so let's click on create and click on notebook. So this will create our notebook. Make sense? So this is our notebook, and if you just want to have more space, you can click on these three bars, and that's it. Okay, and it is saying, hey, free trial ends in 14 days, blah blah blah. Okay, first of all, let's give our notebook a good name. Let's say storage levels. Okay, and don't worry, I will also provide this notebook and all the notes, whatever we are discussing, okay, in the GitHub repo, and I will just show you. Don't worry at all. Very soon, where is my GitHub repo? And whenever I upload any DBC or basically Databricks file, people call it as, hey bro, you have created a file with extension called DBC. We are trying to open it in our computer. It is not opening. Bro, this is a Databricks file. You need to upload it to Databricks to open it. They say, what do you know what they say? They say like, hey bro, we are just trying to open it in GitHub. It is just null. It is empty. Just check your GitHub repo. I was like, okay. Yeah, you are right. Very good. So now .dbc means you need to upload this file in Databricks in order to see that. Okay. And how you can just upload that? That is a good question. You should ask this question, like how to upload it. So in order to upload it, you can go to, let's say, workspace. Okay. Click on these three dots and click on import. And now you can import that .dbc and everything will be here. Sorted? Good. Now I can just go to storage level. So first of all, we know that, and this is just a notebook, okay, similar to Jupyter notebook and very much similar to that. Just one thing is different. You have a button called connect, and this button means you can connect your notebook to a cluster. Make sense? Now you will say, Ansh Lamba, we haven't created any compute. Yes, and we do not need to create any compute. Then who will run our PySpark code? Who? Databricks. How? Because it has now something called as serverless compute, and it is already created for us. We just need to attach it to our notebook, and that's it. Make sense? Good. So this way you can attach the notebook to the cluster. Make sense? Good. So basically now this notebook is attached to the cluster. That means now you can just process any data. Okay, and you do not even need to manage the cluster. You do not need to scale up the cluster. You do not need to manage the virtual machine size. Nothing. You do not need to pick the number of cores. You do not need to pick the number of nodes. You do not need to pick the driver size. Nothing. Just serverless compute, and that's it. Wow. Huge shout out to Databricks. Okay. So now what are we going to do? We know that, let me just add a markdown and just click on text in order to add a markdown. I will simply say Metastore level storage. What does it mean? Metastore level storage means we define storage at the Metastore level. Okay. Then we do not define any kind of storage for catalog. We do not define any kind of storage for schema. We do not define any kind of storage for table. In that scenario, the data for my table will be saved in the Metastore location. Make sense? So if we just see this diagram, so it is this thing. So only Metastore is attached to the location, which is called manage storage location. Okay. Then we will not define any kind of storage location at catalog, neither at schema, and everything within that schema will be created in the Metastore managed location. Very good. So let me just add these bullet points. So it will say Metastore is attached to the storage account, is attached to data lake basically. Catalog is managed. Managed means it is not attached to any external data lake. Okay, catalog is managed. Schema is managed, and objects are obviously managed. Object is managed. Okay, so this is the scenario number 1. Okay, now what will happen? Let me just write it now. Whatever, so basically you can say our objects basically manage tables will be, okay, will be saved data, we can say data for our objects. Data for our objects will be saved in the Metastore data lake. Make sense? Okay, good. And let's do it one by one. Okay. Okay. So now we already have a Metastore. Okay. And we do not need to create a Metastore like this. So what we're going to do, we're going to create a managed catalog. So how you can just create a managed catalog? Obviously using UI that I just showed, that I just showed you, but you can also create catalog using the code, and I can just show you the code as well. Create Databricks catalog. Create catalog. Okay, so create catalog, and 2 ways, obviously using UI, and we already know that. And where's the code? Where's the code? Let's see, data guides. Okay, catalog, schemas, manage catalogs. Oh, I got it. I think they have just changed the tab, so they have just created it here. Okay, good. So now we have create catalog. Okay, if not exist, and catalog name, managed location. What? Managed location. So let me just copy it. So if I just go to this Databricks, okay, and I can write this code here, create catalog, and I will name it as, let's say, if not exists, let's keep it because it is a good thing in order to mitigate the errors. Catalog name will be, let's say, managed catalog. Okay, perfect. I do not need to write this managed location. Why? Because by default, if I do not write this, it will create the normal managed catalog, because it is not an external catalog, okay, with 0 storage accounts or 0 data lakes attached. Okay, so I will remove this. Simple, create catalog, if not exist, catalog, that's it. Okay, makes sense? Let's run this. So what will happen? It will create the catalog without any kind of storage account attached. Okay, remember. Okay, good. Similarly, I will create the schema as well. Create schema, if not exists. Okay, and this time if I want to create a schema, I have to define that which catalog I am referring to. So I will simply say manage catalog dot, and this is my manage schema, right? Manage schema. Perfect. And just to confirm, if I go to create schemas, SQL, see, create database or schema, whatever you can write. I prefer writing schema. If not exist, catalog name dot schema name, manage location or location, we do not need to put nothing. Okay. In this case, we can either use managed location or just location. I prefer using location, but currently we are not doing that thing. Okay. So this is my schema as well. So let's run this code. So now this is also done. Perfect. Now, do you know what? Let's try to create the table. Okay. Let's go to documentation and let's try to create the table. If I want to create the table, I want to create a manage table. So manage table will be like very, very simple. I was just looking if we can just get a code. By the way, I can just use it directly, not a big deal. So I will simply say create table. And if you remember, we need to use a 3-level naming space, right? So if not exist, manage catalog dot manage schema dot manage table. Make sense? Make sense? Okay, very good. So now what will happen? I will simply say ID and name, just 2 things, and that's it. I think that should be good. Okay. Okay, and no location here as well. Okay, no location. Now I will simply insert some data as well. Insert into manage table, and these are the values that I want to insert. Okay. Okay, good. Now let's try to run this. Let's see what happens. So this time it will create the table for us, right? This table. So this table is created, right? And I can simply query the table as well. Select asterisk from managed catalog manage table, and I should see the data. Simple. Now this table is there. Now we can see the data. Now we know that Databricks is not holding any kind of data. That means data is actually residing somewhere, right? It is not in the air. It is somewhere, right? And do you know where is the data? Let me just show you. Data for this table is here. So if you go to Metastore, why Metastore? Why Metastore? Because this is the location. This is the location that we are using. Okay, go to Metastore. This is the folder, go to tables, and this is the identifier ID, and this is the table. So inside the tables, this is the table. So my table data is inside the Metastore, and within the Metastore, it is inside this particular folder. See? Wow, literally wow. If I create any other table, it will be here. If I create more table, it will be here like this. Like this. Now, okay, this layer is completed, which is like this layer, storage levels. Okay, where is our storage level? Storage levels. Okay, here. So this is done. First, Metastore level storage is done. Now, what if I want to create the catalog which is linked to the storage account location? Then what will happen? I can just tell you right away, but I want to show you first of all like what will happen. It is fun. So then what will happen? So this is done. Okay, this is done. Now let's copy this. Now let's say catalog level storage. And don't worry, I will just provide this notebook just for your notes. Okay, so that you can just refer and just enjoy. Just enjoy. Okay, so this data is stored there. Then I will simply say Metastore is attached to data lake. Catalog is also attached to the data lake. And do you know what will happen? I will not tell you, I will just show you. Okay. So now this time we want to create a catalog. Okay. And I can create the catalog like this. Create catalog if not exist. Manage catalog. No, it is like external catalog. Okay, external catalog, and I will also provide the manage location. And what is the manage location? I want to store this catalog. Okay, maybe somewhere. I can create a different container as well. Okay, but ideally I want to create a dedicated folder within this Metastore because I don't want to create more external locations. It's fine. I will simply add a directory. I will simply say catalog. Okay, catalog. Makes sense? So this is the folder which is just for the use by this particular catalog. So let me just provide this link. So abfss and then container is Metastore @ container Databricks unity Ansh .dfs.core.windows.net, and within that we have a folder called catalog. Very good. Simple. Let's try to create this. Okay. Does not exist. Okay. Maybe there's a typo. Okay. Analysis exception. Resources. Data. Yes. Spelling mistake. I missed K. Let's run it for one more time. User doesn't have create manage storage on external location. Metastore root location. Permission denied. Okay, let me just check what is this. User does not have create manage. Oh, okay, makes sense. So basically, I am using my account, which is this one, anshlambacollab AZ. Okay, and I do not have permission to create managed storage. Okay, on external location within this Metastore root location. Metastore root location. So now I can either, because this is like Metastore default location is like usually managed by Databricks only, okay, or the admin. So I can go to this Databricks, okay, this is the admin console, and here I can just see to the catalog, and if I see Metastore US, then I can say admin. Okay, I am the admin. Metastore admin can manage the privileges for all secure inside the Metastore. It is recommended to sign a group as the admin when possible. Okay, so it is done. Metastore is done. Try region, workspaces. Okay, if I check the groups, am I in the group? Yeah, I think so. Yes. Roles. Okay, I think this is also fine. Let's go inside the Databricks catalogs, and if I go to manage catalog that we have just created, okay, if I go to permissions, if I say grant, by the way, it is not related to catalog because we are just trying to create a new catalog. So let's go to settings, Metastore. Yeah, let's go to permissions here. Oh, okay. So let's add one more permission here, grant, and let's add admin. Okay, admins, and create catalog as well, or let's say all. Okay, confirm. Okay, so now we have just provided this particular catalog, manage access request destination, privileges, admin. By the way, like I am admin, so I should have like everything here, but we can just try for one more time. License. If it doesn't work, then we can just create a dedicated container. Not a big deal. We have workaround. Yeah, so let's create that thing. I can test one more thing and let's see if it works, because now the thing is, if I just go to catalog, so if you see the external data, we have two permissions, basically two external locations that we created, but this was automatically created, right? So we can try to create another one for this, because the owner is this ID. I am not the owner of this particular location. I can just go inside this particular Metastore root location, which was automatically created by the account console, okay, because this is the owner of this. I am not the owner, so I do not have the permission. So I can do two things. One thing is I can create a new external location, okay, with the same, you can say, address. Second, I can go inside this and within this permissions I can grant myself Ansh Lamba easy. Okay, create external table or browse or whatever, or basically all privileges, because I am the owner as well, right? So I can simply say confirm. So now if I just try to run this, I think it should work, because now I have the permission, but earlier I didn't have the permission. Only that ext account had the permission. Okay, let's see if it, bro. Yeah, I was like, I am the admin. Then I thought, oh, okay, the external location for Metastore container, I didn't create it. It was automatically created through the admin console. Okay, so now it is solved. So we have the catalog as well. Very well done. Okay, so now this catalog is also attached to the location. Now we need to create a schema. Okay, so now let's create the schema, but schema will not be attached to any data lake, right? So it will be called as managed schema ext, or basically ext catalog, because this is connected to ext catalog, right? So now we just need to create this. Okay, so this is also done. Let's create a table, the same table that we created here. Okay, this is the same table. Create table, and let's do this, and this time table name will be this one. Okay, table name will be this one. We could have also created manage schema as well, because it is the same thing, because different catalog is here, but still fine. Okay, so this is the one. Let's try to run this. Do you know what will happen this time? Now let me just break the suspense. This time obviously table is created. Okay, let me just query this table, and I can just use this block here. Oops, select asterisk from invalid syntax. Okay, select the SQL code. Okay, perfect. So we have this table, and do you know where this data is stored? Do you know where the data is stored? Why we do not have any kind of data? Manage table. Okay, there are 3 rows, bro. Just rerun it. Okay. Oh, I see. Because we inserted in the other table. Okay, not a big deal. Okay, perfect. Let's see the data. So we have the data here, right? And you know where the data is stored? It is this time. Let me just show you the hierarchy. It is obviously inside the Metastore, but this time it is not here. It is here. Do you want to see? Click on this particular, first of all, tables. You will just see one table. Okay, just one table. But if I click on catalog, I will see Unity catalog, catalogs, and this, and then tables, and this is the table. See, this is the table. So if we have storage account attached to the Metastore, and we have storage account attached to the catalog as well, catalog will get the, you can say, priority. Okay, catalog storage account will get the priority. Why? Because it is more closer to the object. Okay, it is more closer to the object. So the layer which is more closer to the object will get the priority. Simple. This is the concept. Make sense? Now the third scenario, you should know the answer. If we create the external schema as well, where it will be stored? Inside the schema. Why? Because it is even more closer to the object. So I hope now you understood the concept. But yeah, let's quickly do that as well, because I want to just create this notebook for your notes. Okay, and let me just call it as catalog level. Okay, and let's call it as schema level storage. Schema level storage. Schema is also attached to the data lake, and then at the end we will talk about manage an external table. Okay, perfect. So now let's try to create the same thing here. So now what we're gonna do, We gonna create the catalog, which is already there. Catalog is already there. Now in case of schema, I will create a new schema. It's called external schema. Okay, external schema, and this time I'll simply say location. Okay, and location, where is the location? Location is this one. Not exactly same, not exactly same, because we're gonna create a new folder. Let's create a new folder and let's go inside the Metastore and let's say schema. Okay, so this is my schema and let me just call it as schema. Make sense? And this time the table name will be this one. Perfect. Let's quickly run this. Let's quickly run this and let's see the data as well. Create schema unity catalog must be managed location, not location. Okay, no worries. Oh, we forgot to add managed, because the location keyword is only compatible with tables, not with schema and catalog. So let's quickly see the data. Select asterisks from. Okay, perfect. So we have this data. Now you know the answer where the data is stored. It is inside the schema. Okay, perfect. This is the table. So now in short, the layer, the level which is more closer to the object, okay, the layer which is more closer to the object will get the precedence, will get the priority, and the data will be stored in that particular storage location, and will ignore all the upper levels of the storage locations. Sorted? Makes sense? Makes sense. Now let's talk about the managed location and external location. Managed location and external location, because so far whatever tables we have created, we have not provided any location to the tables. But in the real world, we create external tables as well, right? We create the tables which are stored totally in a different location. It can be totally a different storage account as well sometimes. So how we can just deal with that scenario? Let's first of all understand what is external table, what are the advantages, basically pros and cons of both, because you will say, bro, which one we should use? It totally depends. It totally depends. Okay, it totally depends. So now let's see first of all the difference between managed table and external table. Once you understand the concept, once you understand the logic between those two, then you can just easily like do all those things. Okay, so now let's see external tables and managed tables. Where is my paint? Where is my paint? Give me my paint. I love explaining live, because see, I can just copy and paste those images, I can copy and paste those complex diagrams, but I personally feel, this is my personal, you can say, perception, if I will draw live, you will understand better. Why it is the case? It all depends upon your brain, how it is developed, especially in our, you can say, culture. We are developed in a way, and we have learned in a way where teacher used to come in the class and teacher used to draw everything by hand, and our mind is developed on that particular pattern. But there are some areas in the world where this was not the culture. They were just using the smart classes since the beginning. They were using, maybe let's say, digital classes, or maybe forget about digital classes, just maybe some people were like directly reading from the books. We also used to read from books, but we always had someone who used to explain the concept with the live illustrations. That's why we understand the best whenever someone is telling us with the live illustrations. Okay, so now what I'm trying to do, I'm just trying to help you so that you can understand better. Yes, it takes more efforts. Yes, it takes more, you can say, because you need to explain step by step, and you cannot use any images, because when you use images, you can say, hey bro, see this arrow is going there, this, and it is very easy. But when you make more efforts for your data fam, they value it as well. And I know you value me a lot, and You just need to show that love in the comment section. Okay, so now let's talk about the managed tables and external tables. Okay, sorted. So first of all, let's see the difference, okay, and live illustrations. Let's talk about the managed tables first of all. Managed tables. Okay. Okay. Now, managed tables means there are basically two things. Metastore and data. Okay. Metastore and data. One is Metastore and one is data. Okay. Now I have this data. Let's say these files. Okay. I want to, okay, or let's say I have this data. I have this table that I want to create, insert into the same data that we were creating before. Okay. Now if I create managed table that I'm creating so far, what will happen? The data will be stored here, and this is a kind of this red thing. Let me just write it for you. This is a managed location. Okay. Managed location means you can say managed storage account, basically, not managed location. Basically, you can say managed data lake. Managed data lake. So this Metastore is obviously connected to this managed data lake. You already know that. Okay. Now let's say I want to create a table. I thought, like, let's say create this table. Okay. This is my thought. If I create managed table, what will happen? Obviously I will say, bro, my catalog name is this, my schema name is this, my table name is this. Sorted? Very good. All that information, all that metadata will go to the Metastore. Why? Because this is a metadata. Yes, it will be saved under Metastore. All the real data, the files, Apache files, Delta files, whatever files will be saved in the managed data lake. Okay, makes sense. This is the architecture of managed table. What's wrong with that? Let me just tell you what's wrong with that. So now let's say after creating the table, I got another thought, okay, to delete this data, to drop this data. Okay, let's drop this data, basically drop this table. So I wrote the command drop table name XYZ. Do you know what will happen? Obviously the metadata will be removed because we do not want this table, and this will also remove the underlying data as well. This will also remove the underlying data as well. Why? Because this is stored in the managed data lake. So Databricks can manage this data, can drop this data. Oh, okay. But in case of, let's say, external tables, let's talk about external tables. In case of external tables, obviously I'll be having Metastore to store the metadata. Okay. I'll be having manage account, manage data lake. Okay. Now I am here and I am here. Okay. I thought of just creating a table. Okay. But this time I want to create an external table. Do you know what will happen? So this time I have, or basically I want to store this data in my location, my data lake, which is also called as external data lake. Okay. External data lake. So what will happen? All the table definition, let's say all the table definition, let's say catalog, schema, table name will be obviously saved in the Metastore. No doubts in that. But this time data will not be saved here. Data will be saved here, external data lake. What is the advantage of it? You own the data. You own the data. Databricks cannot manage this data, cannot even touch this data. Like obviously touch this data, but they cannot. Databricks doesn't have the power to drop this data or basically remove this data. Really? Yes. 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 Okay. Okay. So let's say I want to drop this data now. Do you know what will happen? Obviously this information will be dropped, this like table name, schema, catalog, because we want to remove this table, but you will still have the access to the files. Oh yes, this will not be dropped this time. Why? Because you own the data lake. You are the only owner. Okay, now the critical question: which one is better and which one is not? Both are better and both are amazing. Why? So let me just tell you. And like I can say, like nowadays, managed tables are even more better. Let me just tell you why. Because earlier it was just about owning the data, but now it is all about performance. Okay, we want performance. So what happens? Obviously, in case of managed tables, you cannot save the data. But do you know what? Databricks has launched something called as undrop command. So when you drop the data, yes, data will be dropped, but within 7 days you can undrop the data as well, so that you can just bring your data back within 7 days. Undrop command is there. Okay. Second advantage, or this is the biggest advantage, you do not need to optimize, you do not need to manage anything, partitions, liquid clustering, whatever. You just need to create the table, and everything, best performance will be given by the Databricks, because they own the data. They know how to optimize it. They know how to efficiently store that table to just quickly retrieve the table or basically data. So this is the biggest advantage with managed tables. And as I just said, managed tables are becoming more and more popular because the only concern of deleting the data is gone. Okay, good. With case of external tables, you have the advantage that data will be always in your particular control, but you need to manage the optimization. You need to take care of all the things, okay, for better performance. So it all depends upon the requirements and the choice, or basically what you are trying to do. That's it, whatever I can say. Okay, so now let's see the difference. Okay, now this is the managed table, right? Now let's try to drop this data. Okay, now let's try to drop this data. Okay, how we can just drop the data? Very simple. Let's add the drop command here. Drop table, this thing. Okay, so what will happen? This will drop the data, and I can just show you as well in the catalog. If I go to external catalog, if I go to external schema, we do not have anything. See, this is basically the Metastore. Okay, so we do not have any kind of table definition here, nothing. But if I just show you the Metastore, okay, if I go to schema, if I go to Unity store, schemas, this thing, tables, this data is still there. Why? Because of undrop command, because data remains there for 7 days and it will be automatically deleted by like within 7 days. But if I just want to bring back the table, I can bring back using undrop command. Let me just show you. Undrop table Databricks. Okay, undrop. Okay, so undrop. So this is the thing, undrop. Okay, and then you can simply say table, and then that's it. That's it. Is there any good example? Yes, undrop table, and then this is the table name. That's it. And when you just provide this name, you can basically do it right now as well. See, let's say undrop. Okay, I want to undrop it because, oh, by mistake I dropped this table. Let's try to bring it back. So you can literally see it is back. Within a few seconds, it is back. This is the advantage of using Databricks managed tables now, because we have an undrop command as well. See, so powerful. And now if I want to create, let's say, external table, we can create an external table as well. Okay, you can simply say external tables, H2 bronze external tables. Okay, if I, let's say, want to create table, so how we can just create external table? What is the difference? Very simple. Simply say external first of all, and then just provide it here location. Okay, location. Now let's say I want to store my table outside this Metastore container. I want to store it in raw. Okay, so let's store it here, and let's call it as, let's say, abfss. Let's change the container name. Let's call it as raw, and let's call it as, let's say, external table. That's it. Okay, and let's try to insert some data. Okay, let's run this code, and now let's also query this table. What happened? Syntax error or near. Okay, what is the error? Oh, insert into exists. Okay. Yeah, we do not need to write exists. Okay, select asterisk and from this thing. Okay, let's try to see the data, and you know what will happen. So this time, if you clearly observe, external table doesn't respect anything. It is the cool guy in the classroom. You have provided storage location and at the Metastore level. You provided storage location at the catalog level. You provide storage location at the schema level. It doesn't care. It will save the data in the location of the table. Why? Because it is the most closest layer to the data, that is table itself, that is the object itself. So even if we have location here and in the schema as well, like Metastore as well, but it will always follow this location. Okay, or I can simply call it as, let's say, object level storage. Object level storage, basically external tables. Okay, simple. Object is also attached to the data lake. Perfect. So now let me just show you where the data is stored. It is stored in my raw. Let me refresh. Perfect, external table, and this is my data. So that's how this particular thing works. This is the thing. Make sense? Make sense? Now you have understood the concept of Unity Catalog. Trust me. But you have just understood it. You have not practiced it. You need to remember it. You need to practice it. Just make a promise that you will redo all of these steps from scratch, and trust me, you will say, like, do we actually need to know all of these things? Just sit in the interviews. You will actually realize this particular video is very, very helpful. Okay, so now what else do we have in this video? Now we're going to talk about volumes, like what are volumes and how we can just work with volumes, and what is the advantage of the volume. Make sense? We can create external volumes as well. We can create managed volumes as well. Okay, so let's talk about volumes. Okay, and then we're going to talk about those 5 powerful things that we discussed in the very beginning of the video. We talked about, hey, we have lineage, we have discoverability, everything. Okay, and at the end we're gonna quickly see how we can just perform data masking and row level security in our tables. Okay, let's see. Now let's talk about the volumes. When I heard this word volume, I was like, what's that? But when I understood the concept, I was like, wow, literally wow. What is the concept? What are actually volumes? Let me just try to find out something good for the documentation. Okay. So let's read this first of all, then I will just explain. Volumes are Unity catalog objects similar to table view, okay, representing a logical volume of storage in a cloud object storage location. Volumes provide capabilities for accessing, storing, governing, organizing files. This is important. Files. While tables provide governance over tabular dataset, volumes provide the same thing, governance layer over non-tabular dataset. That means files. You can use volumes to store and access files in any format, including structured, semi-structured, and unstructured. Okay, what does it mean? So let's say let's try to upload some data, okay, so that you will understand better. Let's say in the raw container, okay, I have let me just create a directory. Let me just say data. Okay, within this data folder, I want to upload a file. Okay, what file? Let me just show you. So let me just upload the data, and I will click on upload and I will browse for the files. So here you can just upload your data from the local storage, okay, like local laptop, computer, right? Okay, so I have uploaded this file called dimairline.csv. Okay, let me just click on upload. How you can also access this file if you want to? Simply go to my repo, okay, and I will just provide the link in the description. Then you can hit this button, okay, then you can simply go to repositories. By the way, if you haven't explored this repo, you should, because this is specially made for you and this is a kind of gold mine for you. Just click here, you will get to know. Okay, and just for this particular you can say file, you can just simply go to this particular repo called Anshlambacollab YouTube, and within this you need to go to ADF project, because we are just using any CSV file. Okay, so this was one of the project videos that I did, so we can just simply download the file from here, click on this and click on download. Okay, sorted. So now I have just uploaded the data here. Right now the scenario is very simple. I want to read this file. Okay, you will say, what's the big deal? You can use it using the PySpark code and create a data frame on top of it and blah blah blah. You are actually right, but listen to me carefully. I want to read this file and I want to govern this file as well. What do I mean? I want to create an object for this particular file, which is semi-structured data, okay, which is just a text file, CSV file. And I want to create an object within my schema and within my catalog. What? Within the schema, within the catalog, we can only create tables, right? Or views. How you can just create an object for this? Oh, so you are trying to say that you want to create a table? No, I do not want to create a table. I want to create an object for this. That is where the concept called volumes comes in the picture. Volumes are the objects that you can literally create within your schema, within your catalog, and you can put anything within that. Volume is like a kind of folder in which you can put anything: structured data, semi-structured data, unstructured data, and you can access the data using your Unity catalog. Oh, so let's see how we can just do that. So let's try to create volumes. Okay, and this is, let's say, external. Why external? Why external? Because this is saved in my container, raw container, right? So I can simply say create external volume. Okay, volume name will be, let's say I want to assign this in my bronze, okay, bronze catalog. I will simply say bronze dot, or we can assign it in this as well, because we already have schema, otherwise we have to create another one. So I will simply say external catalog, okay, dot external schema, and this is my external volume. Okay, then I will simply provide the location. Location is this one, and then data. Okay, then data. So this will create a volume for this whole folder data. This one. So now this data folder is actually my Databricks volume. Now whatever I put inside this data folder, it can be CSV file, it can be PDF file, it can be literally anything. I can govern that thing, I can access that thing using Unity Catalog. That is the magic. Let me just show you. So let's run this first of all. So see, it is done. Let me just refresh this. And you will see external catalog, external schema. See, this time you are seeing volumes, external volume. If I expand it, I will see this file. Makes sense because I have this file. If I want to read this data, I can read it very easily. I can simply say select asterisk from. Now what is our file format? CSV dot. Okay, then I'll use backticks. Backticks is the key which is just above the tab button. Okay, backticks. Now I do not need to just provide the original cloud location. No, because we are not accessing the data using the cloud location. We are using the data using the Unity catalog. So there's a specific format for it. You first write backslash, then you write volumes, then you write catalog name, okay, then schema name, then volume. Then if you have any specific file within that, let's say dim airline, okay, then you can just do this as well, dim airline. Otherwise it's fine, you can simply put it till here as well. What happened? Oh yeah, makes sense. So we can just remove this thing. So one more thing, first of all, rejected. If you do not need, first of all, you do not need to remember this code. Okay, you can simply say this as well. Select asterisk from, and then remove it, and then just click on these double arrows, and it will insert the path. See, that's it. So maybe one typo was there, that's why it was causing the issue. But yeah, everything else is fine. So see, now you are seeing the data. Now you are seeing the CSV data. But you are not just passing your cloud location. You are literally passing the volume. See, catalog name, schema name, volume name, and within that file. You can literally put any file within that. dimairline.csv, passengers.csv, PDF file, literally everything. Make sense? So this way you can govern it. Why? Because now it is a part of your Unity catalog as well. See, now it is the part of this particular catalog, right? External schema, and then this catalog, external catalog. This is the power of volume. So let's say you want to create a volume, okay, and you do not want to create external volume. Let's say you do not have some data in your external container. You just want to create a volume which will be stored in the managed location. You can do that. Simply go here in the volumes and click here, or you can simply go here and go to catalog, because you can use UI as well. It's not a big deal. Or you can use code as well. So I want to just show you both the ways. You know the coding part. Let's see the UI part. External catalog, then external schema, then volumes. Then here, if you click here, click on the schema level, then you will see create and then volume. You can create the volume from here as well, and it's fine. It's fine. Okay. And I can simply click on volume. Volume name will be, let's say, managed volume. Okay. If you pick external, then you have to part the location, but give the location. Otherwise, managed volume. Simple. Create. So this is created for you. See, there are two volumes now, external volume and managed volume. Now within this volume, you can upload any data. Similarly, like upload to this volume and then click on browse, and it will be uploaded here. Same way that you did in the notebook. If you see the notebook, the same thing. So currently you created the volume like this, and there was already a data in there, right? But this time you created the volume. Volume is there, but there is no data. You can upload the data. Okay. very easily. Go to the volume and then click on these three dots, upload to volume. So whatever data you will be uploading here, if it will be uploaded where, just tell me this thing. Where? It will follow the same hierarchy, because if schema is external, then it will be saved in the external location, right? Make sense? We have just seen this, right? Let's do a quick demo so that you will be understanding this as well. So let me upload the same file again. Okay, upload to volume, then drop. So this is the file. Let me click on upload. So what will happen? Now it has uploaded the data in the managed volume, right? And if you just want to see the data, where I need to go, you already know. Metastore, then schema, then this schema, and then this. Then see, now I have two options, tables and volumes. Perfect. So now volume is here. See, dimln.csv. So it is actually uploaded here through Unity catalog. So this is all about the volumes, and volumes are amazing thing if you just want to govern your files, your unstructured data. If it is not a tabular data, you can do it with the help of volumes. Make sense? I hope it was helpful. So now we need to talk about some important things. Okay. And now, as I just mentioned, now we can now we are in state that we can just discuss about all those 5 pillars within the Unity catalog. Okay. Now let's see. Once it is done, then we're gonna jump directly into the data security that we get in the Unity catalog, and we achieve that with the help of functions. Remember the fourth object under schema is functions. So we will be just looking at that as well. Okay, very good. So first of all, let's try to look at the catalog. So simply click on this catalog and click here, catalog. So you will be landing here. This is also called as your catalog explorer. Okay, good. So here, if you just observe that you have all the catalogs listed here, correct? Okay, good. If you select, let's say, any specific catalog, let's say this one, then you will see all the things, overview. Okay, and this is the catalog explorer as well for this specific catalog. Click here and you will see all the things. So in this particular catalog, I have external schema, I have managed volume, I have all these things like recents. Okay, so these are like just the recents. Okay, if I click here and if I simply say, let's say, catalogs, then I will simply see all the catalogs, including this one as well. Okay, perfect. Now I want more information within this particular catalog, more information. Okay, click here and then go to details. So this is everything that is there. This was created at this, created by storage location. Remember, we provided the storage location for this particular catalog because this is an external catalog. Storage root. What is storage root? Storage root is basically Metastore. Okay. Then this is a kind of managed catalog. Managed catalog. Why managed catalog? Because you are providing the storage account. It can sound confusing that, hey, we are providing the location, but still it is called as managed catalog. See, you are providing the location, but still it will be managed by Databricks. That is why it is called as managed catalog. Do not get confused with managed table concept. It is totally different. It is totally different. Okay. Then if you scroll down, you will see all the other things as well. Okay. Then if you just want to see the permissions, like who has the permission for this particular thing, no permissions granted yet. No permissions. Only the owner can see this particular catalog, with who is you. Then policies. All the policies are here. If you just want to create some policies, anything, it can be literally anything. Let's say, hey, I want to just see this data with this particular tag. So all those things, asset based access control, everything can be listed here. Then workspace, like what are all the workspaces that have access to this catalog? All are attached to the same Metastore, have the access. Make sense? Okay. So now let's say I want to get the more information about this particular schema, external schema. Same thing, details, everything is here. Okay, manage catalog, this, and if I just scroll down, you will see everything, almost same stuff. Okay, then if I just want to see the same information, let's say for this table, manage table, here you will get obviously more options because this is an object. So now, first of all, overview, very important. Always try to add some description to your tables. It is a good practice. Now you do not need to do it manually because AI is here and we can just get the description written directly from the AI. Okay, so you can accept it or edit it. I will say accept. So this is the description. Okay, good. Now this is the schema, column, type. Then this is a manage table, see, and data source is delta data. Size is very small, last updated this, and popularity this. We can add tags as well, we can add row filter as well, and insights this, everything is here. Then let's say I want to see the sample data. So I can click here and you will literally see the sample data here. Okay. If you do not see this data, that means your serverless SQL pool is turned off. So make sure it is turned on. Okay. So there will be a button like turn on and you will see that. Then details. So all the details are here. All the table properties are here. See, minimum reader version, writer version, last updated, everything is here. Okay. Then permission, then policies, then history, and this is very important, lineage. So lineage will give you all the things. So downstream is storage levels, upstream is storage level. That means it is like using some data from the storage account, writing the data from the storage account, like to that storage account, and that's it. You can also see lineage graph, which is like my personal favorite. So this is only single object for now. But if I create any table using this table, I will see one more thing like this. If I create any other thing using this table, then I will see this. So there'll be a proper lineage, like this is the source of this, this is the source of this, this is the source of this. That's how you just create data lineage in Databricks, especially in Unity Catalog. Then insights, if you just want to get some insights, last table usage in last 30 days and everything. Then this is the quality thing that we were just discussing in the beginning, that you can even create a dashboard, quality dashboard for your data. So you can see enable data quality monitoring for this. If you say enable, you will be able to capture so many metrics. I do not want to do that right now, but you can do that. So this way you can actually get so many powerful features for your objects that you can literally govern almost everything. And this is amazing, man. This is amazing. This is amazing. So now you understood everything, and I hope so. If you have followed everything that I have showed in this particular video, just follow my advice. This is my personal advice. Practice everything from scratch on your own. And I would even encourage you to create a new Databricks workspace and new storage account and do it everything on your own. This way you will remember the steps, plus you will understand the steps. Okay? Just do this for me and for yourself and for your better future. Make sense? Just do it. Now we're going to talk about our last topic of this video, which is data security in Databricks. What is that? Now let's talk about the data security and data masking. So why it is a big deal and what is the role of functions in Unity Catalog? You will just see everything in this particular section of the video. So basically let me just explain this concept. So let's say you have some data. Okay. You have some data. And this is a normal table. Or you can say this is a customer's table. You have ID, name, email. Okay. Let's say, not customer, let's say employee table. Okay. ID, name, email, and then phone. That's it. So if you have this table and let's say there's a group of all the developers who are just using this data. Okay. So they are just using this data to query this and everything is going smoothly. Okay, so they can just use this data, not a big deal. Okay, but now, do you know what's the problem? Let's say we have a column called salary. Now this salary column is critical. This salary column is confidential. They should not see this column. So you will say, hey, drop this column. No, we do not need to drop this column. We need to keep this column, but we need to hide the content. You will simply say, hey, just replace the content with something else. Bro, we cannot do that either. Why? Because we just want this team not to use, or let's say all the teams not to use this column, but there's a special team. They can be, let's say, owners, directors. Okay, they can see this data, or maybe HR people. Okay, HR team can see this data, so they can see this data. Okay, so in that particular scenario, you use a concept called data masking. So what do? You mask the data, okay, for all the other groups, and they can just see, let's say, asterisk, dollar, like some special characters. But when this team will be using this thing, using this data, they will see the real data. How we can just do this thing for this particular purpose? We have to basically create a kind of group. Okay, we have to create a kind of function as well. Okay, so what do I mean? So let's say let's go to the notebook. Okay, and let me just rename this notebook because this is a complete wo. So I will simply say Unity catalog. Okay, so let's say data masking. So first of all, let's create a table quickly. Okay, and let me just name it as data masking, or basically you can say Unity catalog functions. Okay, because this is the last object that we want to discuss. Unity catalog objects. We have discussed tables. Views are like similar to tables, not a big deal. And because we just create a view on top of a query, then we discussed volumes as well. And now the last thing, Unity catalog functions. So basically, let's quickly create a table. Create table. Okay. External catalog, external schema. You can create it wherever you want. Let's say employees or employee. You will simply store ID, name, string, and salary. Okay, perfect. And then let's insert into this thing. Okay, salary, let's say $10,000. Okay, 30,000. And let's try to read this data. Make sense? Okay, perfect. Now 10, 20, 30. We are just able to see the data because I am the owner. I am the admin. I can see the data. It's fine. But if anyone else will try to just, let's say, read this data, they should not be able to see this data. Make sense? And for that particular purpose, let's say catalog. Okay. Let's go to catalog. No, let's go to, let's say, settings. Let's go to identity and access, groups, manage. So here we by default get admins as a group. If you do not have, you can create a group. Okay, group is just like the group where we just add the people. So I am the admin of this group. Okay, makes sense. And I can even create, yeah, admins is fine. Okay, perfect. Now you can also create this group if you do not have that group. So let's say you have the group ready. Okay, so now what we need to do, we will be creating a function inside our Unity catalog. So I'll simply write create function, and then function name will be, let's say, masking. Okay, obviously this will create basically this will get the parameter. I will simply say input. Okay, or let's say salary input. This is of integer type. Make sense? And what this function will return, this will return a case statement. Okay, this will simply say return case when current user, or basically you can current user also fine, but I just want to show you the code that is there in the documentation so that you can just take notes, because you can literally write any custom logic here, but I do not want to confuse you. So you can just, so this is basically the official documentation for data masking. So here you can see we are using this particular statement, create function and then function name and then parameter. Fine. Here is the thing that can be confusing to you. So here it is saying case when is current group member, is account current group member. Okay, then you can simply say this thing. Okay, what is this thing? This is the group name, then SSN, else this. So this is an inbuilt function called is account group member. That means, let's say if I am using is account current group member, or whatever the function name is account group member, and if I just pass admins, so what will happen if anyone who is running the query is the member of this group? In our case, the group name is admins. If the member is not member, like user is the member of this group, then the person will see the exact number, real value. Otherwise, if any user who is not the part of the admins group, the person will not be able to see the SSN, that means the real value. The person will see the star. Make sense? So let's apply this in our code as well. So we'll simply say create function and the function name is masking. Okay, and this function should be created within this Unity catalog, external catalog dot external schema dot masking. Okay, and this input variable I need to change it because I do not like this. I'll simply say salary. Simple. Return case when is account group member. Remember, this is an inbuilt function, I didn't create this function. Okay, so I'll simply say admins. Okay, then SSN, otherwise end. Let's create this function and let's see. Oh, makes sense. So it is saying, hey, what is SSN? What is SSN? We want to just return the salary. That means the input. Okay, perfect. This function is created. You can even check it if you just go to external schema, if you just refresh it. So see, now this time you have one function as well, and this is the function. If you open it, you will see the details and everything. Okay, so this is the function that we have created. Very good. Now this is just the 50% of the work. Now once this function is created, we need to apply it on this particular table. So what we can do, we can simply say alter table name, and we can apply this function. And here is the command for alter table. So we can simply say alter table. The table name is, in our case, users employee. Alter column. The column name is salary. Okay, then set mask. That means function name. Our function name is masking. Okay, so now let's run this. It is saying Databricks Unity Ansh was not found. What is this? Okay. Oh, we didn't select the catalog name, so that was missing. So we need to select the catalog name as well. Alter table name. So table name is this one. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Because masking is not directly available, we need to pick this thing with the catalog as well. External catalog, external schema, external masking k. Oh, function name is masking k. Okay, I added masking k. So just a typo, but yeah, not a big deal. I can just pick any name. That's my function. Okay, so this is done. If I now let's try to query the table. select asterisk from employee, I will see all the records because I am the admin, I am the member of this group. Okay. But why I am seeing asterisk, asterisk, asterisk? Wow, why? Because I am not actually the member of this admins. Really? Yeah, I am not. So that is why I am seeing here asterisk, asterisk, and this is the ideal situation. We wanted to just show it like this. We wanted to show like this. So now, what do we mean? If even I am not the member of this group, then also I will not be able to see the real value. I will only see asterisk, asterisk, and asterisk. Make sense? Make sense? Okay. But let's say I want to see the data because I am the admin. I know that. So there's group with called A, not small a, it's capital A. I am the part of that group. So I'll simply say create or replace function so that we can just recreate this function. And this time we'll say if anyone who is the part of this group with capital A, the person should see the data. And let's run this. Oh, okay. So now you can see that I can see the data, salary, 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 right? Because I am the part of that group. So that's how you just apply data masking in Unity Catalog. Now, I hope you enjoyed this section. I hope you learned a lot. I hope that you have developed a strong base, strong fundamental knowledge around Unity Catalog. And what are your next steps? The next steps are very, very, very simple. You are ready to explore and master Databricks. Okay. Now, you just need to build an end-to-end Databricks project because now you understand all the things. So now you will say, Ansh, where is the project? Which project should we make? So let me just show you the gold mine that I was just talking about. Simply go to my GitHub repo, okay, and simply pick this particular repository is called Data Engineering Roadmap. In this particular roadmap, obviously, if you just want to master any particular thing or module that you haven't mastered, obviously master that. But if you're just specifically looking for building projects, these are the end-to-end industry level data engineering projects. And these are not just like your very simple tutorials and all. These are like actual data engineering projects that we built in the industry. Okay, so this is like each project is like of I think 6 to 7 hours long. So you can imagine the content, the knowledge that you're gonna gain in this particular section. So just go and just try building these projects. Most of the projects are using Databricks, but there are some specific Databricks projects such as like this, such as like this, and such as like, yeah, you can just explore and just check. Okay, so these are your next steps. And just click on the video right now on the screen because that is the special project that I have just picked for you. And happy learning.